Yes, people of Jamaica, I know the wider world always a listen. Today, you will be hearing and seeing real insight of the state of Jamaican politics and summary of Jamaican election from 1944 to 2020. The last election we have was in 2020, September the 3rd. After you have finished listening to this, you should have the answer for several questions you might have. These journalists and political analysts is not providing the public with the analytical data and the real issue affecting a very low voters turnout on election day, starting from 1989 to 2020, and what caused 50% of voters that voted in 1980 not to be interested to vote in 2020 election. So in 1980, Jamaica recorded the highest voters turnout of 86.91% of who is on the voters list turn out to vote. And the Jamaican Labour Party won that election. So the Jamaican Labour Party has that record now of getting the most person turn out to vote in an election. And 86%, that is good. Now let us get into the real matter that I don't hear anyone talking about, especially those in the media. Jamaica population since 2018 stands at 2.935 million, and we are now in 2020. Therefore, we can fairly say our population is now 3 million. Out of the 3 million people, only 1.9 million plus people numerated to vote. It's not even reached 2/3. Now let us ask ourselves why the next 1/3 plus of Jamaicans are not on the voters list, or why are they not interested to be on it? Now let us go further down in the matter at hand. Out of the 1.9 million people on the voters list, only 714,000 plus came out to vote, which represent 37%. This is the lowest voter turnout in history of Jamaica. This is in 2020 election, where Labour Party won. 37% come out and vote. What is on the vote? Who was on the voters list? Now, people of Jamaica, do you think this look good for the country? This low voter turnout happened even though we have a young prime minister that is connecting with the youths. In the history of Jamaica, this is the lowest voter turnout. Can this mean the people of Jamaica have no more faith in the leaders of our nation? Does this mean they are not appealing to the people? One thing I know, it not look good. Jamaica is in big trouble, and the entire government on both sides need to remove all the politicians that served in the 1980s and replenish the system with new young people with fresh minds, bright ideas, and enthusiastic about their role and function. All politicians that serve in the 2006 and 2020 election should be ashamed of themselves right now, because putting both parties' votes together, they were not even able to convince half of those on the voters list to vote for either of them. The country of Jamaica have lost. Only the political party have win. And if you are a true leader and your country not winning, then you all have not started working yet. Can you imagine less than 1/3 came out and vote? Can you imagine 2.25 of Jamaican is not interested in voting for either party? Can we safely conclude that based upon this historic low voter turnout, that it was a die-hearted people came out and voted for both parties in the 2016 and 2020 election. Let me now address the matter of pandemic that I know people is going to try and use as a scapegoat to try and make excuses for the low voter turnout. Let us go back into the history. In 1980 election period, over 800 Jamaicans lost their life because of politics, and that year recorded the most voters turnout in history. The fear of death because of politics was so high and overbearing that the angel in heaven could have smelled it. Between the 50s and the 80s recorded the highest voters turnout and the most political violence in the history of Jamaica. Now 2020 there is COVID-19, which only managed to kill less than 30 people before election. Therefore, the real threat of dying was in the 50s to 80s because far more people died because of politics leading up for election than on election day and after. Therefore, to use COVID as a scapegoat is bullcrap. Let us go even further. The year 2016 general election, was there any pandemic? Answer that question. 2016 election, 2016 election, was there any pandemic in the country? The answer for that is a resounding no. And that was the first historic low voters turnout of 47.72% voters turnout, and that is on the voters list. That's below 50% of who's on the voters list. Therefore, I am saying to all you who have started to blame COVID-19 without researching the facts, you better not go down that misinformation route. You better not, because good sense will not have it. Let us not be fooled or lead into political travesty. Jamaica is still waiting to see and follow a vote for a leader that can inspire them, motivate them to get numerated and get a voter's ID, and left their house in an election and vote. They have not seen that leader yet. To let them left their house, their good nice clean house, to come out and vote. Maybe now is the time for a brave, righteous man and woman to rise up, form a party that can give the 60% plus a reason to vote. Is it that the 60% plus are also saying they don't care who wants to lead the country because nothing will change? Therefore, they left it for those parties, die-hearted voters, to deciding who should manage Jamaica. All I am saying, people of Jamaica, let us look on the data and the facts presented here and realize that what is happening in our island political system is very serious. And if we don't find solution for it quickly, Jamaica is going to pay dearly